Well, hi, I know that somewhere we are live in now. So, hi, Tess, I know you're there. Can you see us now? I'm just looking on my mobile to make sure that we are there. So, if you can see us, if anybody can see us, do let us know. Right, so yes, we are live because I can see us there. Yo! Right. So this is the first, well, kind of the first time that we've used, certainly the first time I've used StreamYard, but it's the first time that we've actually used this in this 100-day Facebook Live broadcast called It's All About You. Yesterday it was Rachel and I, but then we were somewhere. So, All About You is literally that. It is all about you guys on and in now. And our second member for today is Joy. We're only going to be here for 15 minutes, so you're going to miss out on us if you're not here for 15, but you can catch up and replay. So, what I'm going to say is over to you, Joy. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Thank you. I'm Joy and I live in Edinburgh, but soon we'll be moving to East Lothian. I'm a complementary therapist and I also am a Reiki teacher. And also, I'm an author. So that book came out last year, The Power of Reiki, Crystals and Synchronicity. So my job is the best job ever. It's helping people to relax and to chill out. And also with the benefit of the equipment I have, which is infrared, it also helps to treat pain, especially long-term pain for people. So I use Reiki, I use crystals, and I use an infrared heat pad and an infrared dome, which has been getting really fantastic results over the last wee while for people. Excellent. Is that enough?
No, not quite, because I'm going to ask you, what is Reiki? Because there's a lot of people out there actually don't know about it.
You're right. I always say the easiest way of thinking of Reiki is that energy is all around us and we are energy. And a Reiki therapist pulls the energy through their body, transmits it to the person that they're treating, and then that person's body works with whatever is going on with the body at that time. So we all have our energy points, which are called chakras. And if they get a little bit out of balance, then the body starts feeling out of balance as well. When the Reiki energy works its way through the body, it goes to those points that need to be balanced and it puts them back into that again. Cool. So that's the easiest way of saying what Reiki is, just energy that's all around us.
Yeah. So this energy, again, it is, as you said, it's what we're created from. It is what everything around us is created from, and taking it right down to its sort of nitty gritty, it's basically atoms, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we can affect that. And with Reiki, because you are attuned, because you go through the practice of it, you go through the learning of it, and you become attuned to this energy called Reiki, what is the difference between somebody who's not been attuned to Reiki and somebody who has? Can they notice a difference if they go and, try and
Definitely.
Yeah.
Over the years, I have had people that have been able to use their hands since they were little children, and they've been able to help relieve pain with other people. But what they have found when they came to learn Reiki is that all of that time they were using their own energy, and they were perhaps getting sick or they were getting tired. So with Reiki, you learn to use the energy that's around us, not your own energy.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. So maybe people who are more susceptible to being near other people or even in locations, they might find that it just doesn't feel right. So
I think
that could be.
Yeah, a lot of people as well. I don't know whether it's just changing or whether it's becoming more noticeable, but a lot of people are very empathic, which means that they can connect with other people when they're out walking in the middle of the streets and take on their emotions. And people like that have never been taught to be grounded and to be protected, which is part of what happens when you're attuned to Reiki. So I have a few people like that come to see me, And once they learn how to ground and protect themselves, they're able to go back into the world without as much pressure on them, which is a brilliant thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So just for those people who do get tired, who do feel the senses when they're around people, especially toxic people, what can they do to help themselves? Not
I
to
would
take in
say
that
that
energy.
if they don't want to go and learn Reiki, there is actually a video on my website on the workshop page, and it actually takes you through grounding and protecting yourself. And I
Ah,
always suggest that people start off their day doing that. And then if throughout the day they ever go into a situation that they feel that they're uncomfortable with, to just go through it again in their head. And usually it works.
okay, cool. I'll add that link. For anybody who's looking, it's the first time I've really used StreamYard here. And when I normally use Zoom, I can add links and things to our talking here, but it tells me here I can't post them to Facebook, so it's fine. I'll do that. So, Joy, I will add that link when we finish here for people to go and do that and be able to help themselves. And then, who knows? Somebody might say, "Oh my God, I cannot believe the difference here." So
Yeah,
you said that you teach Reiki as well.
I do. And that is all part of the teaching, as well as to make sure that the students know how to ground and protect themselves when they're working with energy.
Right. And how long does it take to be a Reiki practitioner?
Well, I always say that Reiki 1 with me takes 1 day to learn. That allows you to treat yourself, your friends, and your family. Reiki 2 takes 2 days, and I always say that there should be a minimum of 3 months between level 1 and level 2.
Okay.
Because the reason for that is twofold. You find that your emotions, your head, every part of you becomes affected when you work with energy. And sometimes for more people, it takes longer for their heads to adjust.
Oh, wow.
So rather than cramming everything into a short weekend, I always say it's much better off to have the time in between. Once somebody has done the level 2 and they have done their homework for me, which will be including sending distance Reiki to people and also practicing with people one-to-one, after they get their certificate, they can then go into the big bad world and they can practice Reiki and charge for it.
Ah, okay. And I mean, you've not always done Reiki, have you?
I've done it since 2004. And that was round about the time that I decided that I needed to make changes in my life. And a lot of synchronicity happened till I found my correct teacher. And after that, there was no going back. I totally changed. I mean, to put it the easy way, I used to be the type of person that if 2 things went wrong, I waited on the third one. And after I had learned Reiki 1, I had a roof that was leaking and nobody could find out why it was leaking. And after I did my course, I walked away going, what the heck, it'll get fixed. So all of the pressure and the stresses disappeared off of me after learning Reiki.
My goodness gracious. So even just doing that 1 day, doing Reiki 1 is going to change somebody's life.
Most certainly, yes.
Yes, yes.
I had one person who was being bullied at her workplace, and all she needed to do was put the grounding and protection in place when the bully started walking towards her. And believe it or not, the bully turned away every time.
My goodness.
That 1 day totally changed her life at work.
Wow, it's amazing, amazing, yes. Because like you said, it changes the energy that's in our body, and it changes it in that respect. I'm presuming what it's done was create a protection around that person. And the bully.
It also changes your mindset as well. So you definitely do become a more positive person once you start working with energy.
Well, you certainly are. I mean,
Thank you.
You know, the times when I met you and seen you, you're always bubbly and smiling and look, you've just Joy's selling a house and it's only been on the market what, since yesterday?
Since last night.
Oh, since, and there's a good chance it's actually been sold. They're like, come on.
Yeah. This person phoned the estate agents 20 minutes after it went live on their website.
Hey, my goodness me. Wow. Well, we're
So
going to look.
fingers crossed.
Oh, well, I tell you what, we're going to be watching and we're going to be seeing and if anybody fancies, to or needs or wants to change their life in whatever way, then go and see Joy, Reiki 1. Just doing that is going to change your whole life. Wonderful.
Yeah, because I'm not sure of, although my new house is ready in June, I don't know when I'll be out of here, but I know it takes at least 3 months for all the paperwork for a house to go. So I will plan on doing another Reiki 1 workshop during April.
Excellent. And I've seen the photos of your new house and it's, God's truth, it's spick and span. Where have you put all the boxes?
Oh, it's a lovely big 4-bedroom house. So I'm looking forward to that.
It's a gorgeous, gorgeous. So, now a question here. And the question for you is, who is your best friend and how did you meet?
I have to say that Lorraine Fiander counts as one of my best friends. And we met through my sister because at that time, my sister and Lorraine both lived in Jersey. And I'll never forget the day that my children were not enamored with my sister. And Lorraine turned up and took my children away to have a meal with her children. Oh. And then after that, she came to visit me every year during the Edinburgh Festival with her family, and then latterly without her family, and eventually moved to Scotland.
How long ago was that?
Probably about 20 years ago. It's hard to remember when it happened. In actual fact, thinking of it, let's see, 86, 90. It must be over 20 years, actually. Yeah.
Heavens, that's a long time to stay friends with someone.
It is. I suppose for a long time we didn't have that much one-to-one contact with each other. We did a lot of chatting over the internet and stuff, whereas now we're able to see each other more often, which is brilliant. I better not say too much or she might kill me.
Oh, I don't think she will. She's a lovely, lovely lady. And you're that closest friendship, which is just beautiful. It really, I mean, I'm envy you because I've never had that kind of friendship with anybody. But you've just been on holiday, haven't you? Together.
We have 2 whole weeks in the Caribbean seas.
My goodness me, and still stayed friends.
We did. I'm not sure it would last for much longer than 2 weeks, mind you.
Oh, I think you did brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly. So, you've moved in your house there, and you do Reiki, and how do you keep yourself, as fit as you are? Or is it just Reiki that's doing that for you?
I would say fit is the wrong word being applied to me, but mentally I keep myself fit by using Reiki, meditation, walking out in nature. I love walking by the sea. I love walking in my local parks, and I'm trying to walk more this year than I did last year. So having left my work in November 2018, it's made a very big difference to my mental health as well. So although it wasn't expected, it's the best thing that I could have done. Right.
So you've improved your health, your mental health since leaving work?
Definitely. I actually just spoke to somebody yesterday who was in my team at work, and she says, if I thought things were bad when I left, they're 100 times worse now. So I made the right decision in leaving when I did.
Yes, it was right. It was the right time, wasn't it? It really
It
was.
was.
Yeah.
And it was Lorraine that actually said to me on the same evening, it's the universe telling you to leave work and go and start doing your own work.
Did she? You
She
see?
did. So
Wise words.
I have a lot to thank her for.
Oh, lovely. Right. Well, thank you very much, Joy, for this real insight into your life, into you, and that tip as well about how we can all help ourselves if we're feeling run down, if we're feeling exhausted, if we're having to go to friends or family or wherever it is, and we really don't want to go because we know that we're going to come away exhausted, then I'll pop the link in and people can go and they can have a look and they can ground themselves, and let's encourage them to get back to you, because I want to hear how they've got on. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, everybody who has been there. This is our first. Hi, Tessa. I can see you are there, and I know that Jackie is there too. Anybody else, I'm not sure, because the phone's doing its twirly-whirly thing, like, it's buffering.
Right.
Yes. So I want to keep this to 15 minutes. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody on Facebook by ending this broadcast, and we'll catch you again tomorrow with our next It's All About You. Bye for now,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.